One away to a much weakened Borussia Dortmund 3-2 as Patrick Schick scores another two. Jules, how did he look?
They look really good at times, Gabby, and they scored 2 early goals to take the lead. And then at times it was a little bit shaky, although I thought the second half was pretty much under control still. This Dortmund side had 12 players missing through the flu. It's not the only team, by the way. Pretty much everywhere there's a lot of people going down with the flu, and players as well. Schick in top form. And
it's like, take your time, Victor. Take your time.
Yeah, I mean, and even when he comes back, I'm not sure right now who you'd start, but I know I would start Schick 100% in that kind of form. So really good win for them, obviously, to put pressure on Bayern, who played on Saturday, coming back just a point behind. Now they're back to 4. But at times, it looked like the Leverkusen of old, I thought, and at times it looked like the Leverkusen of this season. Omar Yarmouth does it again as he scored the only goal in Eintracht Frankfurt 1-0 win over St. Pauli away as well. Gab, our friend Jan Fjortov, insists that they, as in Frankfurt, won't accept less than 80 million euros for Yarmouth. Does this mean that it's too expensive for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City?
So obviously, Eintracht, Jan's old club, he's very close to them.
Yeah, he knows a lot of people.
He's an Eintracht fan as well. And he makes a point, and it's a valid point, that we need a big number on him because we're competing to be in the Champions League. So if we lose Marmoush, we need to spend money on a replacement. It affects our Champions League chances. We have to think about the revenue we're going to lose next season. I can tell you this. I wouldn't spend 80 million euros on him.
No.
Because,
but nobody will, though. So if you're Frankfurt, you know that, surely.
Well, then somebody needs to tell his agent that because they keep pushing it and pushing it. I mean, they've been going around all the English clubs.
Yeah.
The reality is, this is a guy, I think he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
It's his first really big breakout season. Yes, he's very, very fast and he's Egyptian. So it's like, oh, look, it's like Mohamed Salah. Yeah, he's not quite the same thing.
Yet.
I'm not sure, even from short, can he play on the wing for City? Of course he can. But they've got other guys who can play on the wing too, right? Yeah. So is this really what City need? Would you really push the boat out that much? Would you sign him to try to maybe go 4-4-2 and play like him and Holland together? Or are you signing him for the bench? In the current climate, I don't think anybody's going to give you 80 million.
Definitely not.
It would need to be something like, I don't know, 40 plus a whole bunch 50. Of bonuses. And Eintracht may figure, that's not enough for us. But equally, they may also look at this and say, all right, if we don't sell him now, he's never going to be this good again.
I agree.
Sticking with City, I was excited to watch the Havre game against
You were
Lens.
the only one.
Well, no, you'll find our friend Joseph Gourlian also was presumably watching the game as well.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if he was excited like as you were.
But I wanted to watch Abdukodir Khusanov.
Yes.
But sadly, he wasn't there, presumably because he's on the verge of moving to join Pep Guardiola. I asked Rob Palmer about him on the last show, but I suspect you're more of an expert on Uzbek footballers playing in France.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing potential. We broke the story on Friday night that there was a full agreement between the two clubs for 38 million euros plus 10 in bonuses that are easily reachable. So let's call it 48.
48 million euros for a guy who's 20 years old, who's had one season in Europe.
18 months, 1 season and a half.
This is mad.
That Lens bought for 100K. So the profit over this transfer, if all the bonuses are triggered, from a Lens point of view, would be 47.9 million euros. And in terms of profitable transfers, and I know there are other transfers, let's say like a Coutinho, for example, or like a Dembele at the time, that had a bigger profit, but nobody who was bought for less than €1 million brought his club more money than that. There was Figo when Barca paid really low amount to Sporting. Because I checked, I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
I know like a Dembele, when you spend 30 million on and sell for 130 or whatever, you make 100 million. Coutinho was 13 or 14 from Inter to Liverpool and then the Liverpool to Barca. But for somebody who didn't cost you more than €1 million to then sell him for almost 50 is just ridiculous. And well done to the scout who found him, who now, by the way, is in MLS at Columbus Crew, who used to work for Lens at the time, who went to Minsk and found him in the Belarus top flight.
As you do.
18 months ago, as you do. Then watched him in the Asian Under-20 Cup and then the Under-20 World Cup back in 2023. And it was just one of those findings. Is it worth that money? I don't think so right now, but you bought the potential because he's really that good. I think he's the only player in the Big Five leagues this season to have won 80% of his ground duels and aerial duels. And the Ligue 1 league is a physical league. So there's definitely something in there. But I understand that it's a lot of money for him.
He's also extremely quick too.
He's super quick. I think he was checked, or I don't know, he was measured as the quickest player in Ligue 1 this season. He had the sprint at like 36 km an hour or something crazy.
Faster than Speedy Barcola?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he a kind of a piece of clay where Pep's going to figure out he's going to play center back, right back, blah, blah, blah. Let me figure this out?
Yeah, I would think so.
And he's designed to have an immediate impact if he comes this season.
Well, I just don't know if you...
Especially with Walker gone, right? Because...
Yeah. So I think this is very much the idea. Lance played with the back three last season especially. He played in all the back three, so he could even play left side of centre back in a midfield three if you want, as a bit of a sweeper, playmaker, whatever. And then on the right, where I guess being right-footed is a bit more comfortable and can cover right back and right centre back. So I think there's something there for City. I can see why they wanted him now and not wait for the summer. There would have been more competition for other English clubs and other clubs in general. It's just what they were ready to pay for him. But Lens were never going to sell for less than 40. So Xavi Simons is back with a bang as Leipzig beat Werder Bremen 4-2. Gab, now that the SOS has been reassembled, can they make a push for the title?
Well, they're 9 points back, but...
It's a lot.
The reason you say no is because of the guy on the bench.
At the back as well.
And the people at the back, yeah. I will say this. He is so exciting. And you think about him, and there's moments of skill in that game, which I know Werder Bremen aren't very good, but Simons...
very open, yeah.
Yeah, you had that Sesko shot.
Amazing.
Where he hits the ball so hard. Banger. You've got the Nusa run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like PlayStation.
The second goal for Xavi Simons is amazing. I love the second goal.
Hey, boy, could he go back to Paris Saint-Germain and... no?
Another winger.
Another winger, yeah, why not?
On the left. We can play with 3 left wingers.
Mason Greenwood, speaking of wingers, on the score sheet again. As Marseille win it, Rennes 2-1. Jules, they're still 7 points back, but the Zerbi chugging along a little bit.
Yeah, really well. They're the second best team in France right now, there's no doubt. They getting better and better. Greenwood, top goal scorer now with 11 goals. Rabiot scored again and was very good. He was the Sampaoli reunion, obviously, with Marseille and his former team, former players. There was a lot of hugs and a lot of kisses and a lot of love and everything. And I thought Rennes competed well, and Kalimundo missed a penalty before scoring. Marseille came back, won it. There was not much in between the two. But I'm still really impressed about what De Zerbi has done and how he turned things around. And this new system worked great for them. So it's good. It's good for the league. 7 points seems a lot, but there will be another classic some points in Paris. And, you never know that PSG at some point might drop points, and Marseille will have to be near perfect if they want to compete and push them. The Times report that the PFA, Manchester City and Manchester United are all teaming up together to block the Premier League's new anchoring rules. Gab, what is this all about?
So we touched upon this before, is basically in the ever-evolving profit and sustainability rules, which, again, I don't want to bore people with this, but you need to remind yourself. People say, oh, football's big business. Yes, but right now, in its current incarnation, it's a crappy business because everybody loses money, and that's why everybody's cutting back, and that's why transfer activity's down, and that's why all these players are out of contract at big clubs. I've got a column coming up on this. You just need to kind of realize this. So as part of it, they're saying, in addition to the current profit and sustainability rules, where obviously you can only make losses up to a certain amount, they want to have something so that clubs, whoever's at the top, can't spend, the formula is 5 times as much in wages and transfers and amortization, more than 5 times as much as the team that's bottom, that receives the lowest amount from TV money. Obviously, everybody's in favor of this because everybody wants to cut costs. There's less money to spend. There's less money to spend in wages. It's easier to meet the profit and sustainability rules. And equally, obviously, Manchester United saying, well, wait a minute, we hope to be immensely profitable one day. Manchester City saying, well, we're already immensely profitable. Look at our enormous sponsorship deals. And also the PFA are against it because ultimately, like PFA, I disagree with him on this one.
Yeah.
I think costs need to come down to make the system more sustainable. But equally, they're a players' union. And
Yeah,
they're doing their job.
yeah.
There's no union that's going to say, oh, yes, please go and limit our wages. No, they want the opposite.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to succeed in this. But hey, if there's find a legal challenge, a legal angle, lawyers, anything can happen. It's time. It's texter time. Not a great weekend for our hero, Jules, but Lyon lose to Brest, and the DNCG, the France's financial regulatory body, reject his appeal. What does this mean?
And what it means that they're still right now relegated at the end of the season unless they found the money. They still can't recruit either, which is a bit of a blow. I mean, Thiago Almada is going to come over as on loan, so that's fine.
Could he sell Lacazette to Botafogo for $1 billion?
I don't know if he can do that, but clearly all the explanations and all the arguments they gave to the appeal committee to turn around the DNCG decision with all the sanctions was not good enough. They didn't believe them. They said, we want to see proof, not just what you mentioning. Like he said, he would sell Crystal Palace very, very soon. His shares in Crystal Palace, so that would be some money. There'd be some investment in the Eagle Football Company. Again, that they didn't really buy that and said until we see it, then what we can all come up with stuff like that, and if none of it is true, then so they were again. He was very disappointed, probably as disappointed as he was on Saturday because his team didn't play well at all at Brest.
All right, some positive news on this. It's been reported that it's weird. Originally, there were two buyers for his 45% stake in Crystal Palace, which of course, in terms of deciding things, is only worth 25%, which is why it gets outvoted all the time. One of them is it's a group with some former Rock Nation executive, some guy like that. And then the other group, which suspiciously I think is called Sport Bank, which sounds a lot like Face Bank, which was the one of Texter's company. But hey, who knows? I'm sure it's entirely independent. They were going to buy into Palace, and then somehow he's reportedly convinced them, no, buy into my Eagle Football Limited group, the consortium that controls Lyon and Botafogo, and was it Molenbeek?
Molenbeek, yeah.
Like, JT, if you get these guys to send you a check and you can fix your books, great, because Lyon fans deserve that. They do not deserve to be relegated. So let's hope it goes through. Who would pay 45% value for something that gives you 25% control? I genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a carve out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe people are friends with Blitzer and Harrison Parish and they can work something out.
Yeah, maybe they team up. I don't know. But it's not good. Anthony isn't getting any more playing time at United under Ruben Amorim, Gabi, as he did under Eric Ten Hag, to be fair. So I guess he's spending time doing other things.
I'm assuming this guy already has lawyers on retainer who will do his bidding, given the number of women who've taken legal action against him for various reasons. Yeah. So reportedly, he's decided to sue Ajax. Do you remember when he kind of forced his move from Ajax? It was right at the end of the window.
That's right. Yeah.
And Eric Ten Hag. Yes, you need to have him any price, 100 million, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. And then there were several games where he didn't play.
Yeah.
Well, Ajax ended up fining him for those. He's saying, well, wait a minute, I was available to play. You chose not to play me. Apparently, he cited some quotes from the Times saying, oh, he's not in the right frame of mind to play. You can't be fining me for that. So even though it's only a few $100,000, which, I'm assuming given Anthony's wages isn't that much, he's got time on his hands, so he wants to look after his business and make sure that he gets paid. Davy Moyes is officially in charge at Everton now,
David,
Jules.
I love you.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Did the Friedkins get this one right?
Time will tell, I guess. Am I a fan? Not really, as you know.
Okay, if the Friedkins had gotten on the phone to you, right?
Yeah.
If they said, this is Ryan Friedkin here. I'm just finished flying my own plane and jumping out of it from 10 million feet into my private game reserve in Tanzania. What do you think? Should I go for Moyes?
I would have said, pass me Dan. Dan, please.
Dad.
Tell me that you're not in agreement with this. No, I would not have. I think this is a fan token. Is that what you say? When you want to keep the fans happy and you think, hey, if I'm bringing a club legend back, which David Moyes is, to be fair to him at Everton, then maybe the fans will love us. It's a great start with the fan in our relationship. So maybe at that level, it might make some sense. Although I'm sure there are some Everton fans who are thinking like, really, David Moyes back after leaving 10 years ago or 12 years ago, whatever it was. Surely
I think it was
they deserve
13
maybe
years ago, even.
Yeah,
Or 12,
well,
12 years ago.
yeah,
Right.
2013, after Sir Alex. I don't know. If I was an Everton fan, I would be completely underwhelming. I'm not saying I don't give David Moyes a chance to steady the ship, but 2.5 years, really?
That's the part. I think they're 1 point above the relegation zone.
Yeah, that's
So
right. Yeah. This
I
16.
get the sense.
3 wins this season.
We talked about the sacking of Sean Dyche, and again, the way it was presented, it was really funny because all these things. I'm going to lift the lid a little bit. They're negotiated, right? That's sort of the when somebody leaves a club, you negotiate. Well, how are we going to describe your exit? Is it mutual, termination by mutual consent or whatever else? And then, of course, there's the briefing where somebody at the club who wants to remain nameless goes and whispers to the papers, but that it comes from the club because every paper's got the same one. So what I read, and it was the same thing in every paper, was Sean Dyche was sacked after he told the club he couldn't take Everton any further. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. So if you didn't like the fact that he said that, so you sacked him? Is this the thinking? I mean, when I talk about
lack of ambition, maybe they're saying like, hang on, if you're not ambitious, then
I don't know, but I would have thought normally that's what you hear when people resign. Oh, I can't do any more with this, or in this case, blah, 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 blah. But given it's Sean Dyche. So this thing is weird. I hope it doesn't get litigious and nasty because that's not what they need.
No, definitely not.
It speaks to the Freakins' PR issues again, that nobody really understands this. Why did Dyche leave? I presume there's a gag order and he can't speak about it. Maybe he will one day.
Yeah.
Again, I understand why he moved on, but 2.5 years for Moyes. Again, that seems, why don't we say, keep us up and then an option and big bonus if you keep up, and then we'll talk in the summer. Wouldn't that make more sense?
I think so. Sadly, we have to report a case of racist abuse in Serie B, Gab.
2 of them, actually. There was one in a game involving, I'm blanking on in the Reggiana game involving Paris born and bred Mehdi Dorval.
Oh, yeah?
Who's, I think he's half Algerian, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, yeah.
And in that case, they did the protocol. They stopped the game for 7 minutes and it stopped. So, but obviously nobody should deal with that. And you hope that there is follow-on.
Yeah.
The other one, I think this is really bad. And it's really bad, again, from the club, from Brescia and the way they handle this. It was Brescia against Sampdoria. The player is Ebenezer Akisamiro, who is Nigerian. He felt he was getting racially abused. He reported it to the referee. The referee says, okay, I'll look out for it. And he alerted, the pitch side observers. So far, so good. Then Sampdoria score. Akisamiro goes to recover the ball. He gets racially abused again when he goes to recover the ball. And then he kind of does this weird dance, kind of like mocking the fans. And then the referee goes and books him for provoking the fans at that stage. Now, it's easy for us to say, all right, don't react, just report the referee, let them handle it. Equally, I don't see why you need to book the player in that situation. And then even worse, his coach, Semplici, comes out and says, oh yeah, at that point I feel terrible for Akisamiro. I had to go and substitute him because I was worried he might get sent off. And I'm thinking to myself, way to support the guy in that situation, message, right? Definitely. That is completely the wrong message.
Yeah.
And also from Brescia, I don't know if they issued a statement. It's certainly not on their social media feed. Guys, come out and say something, please. I hope, again, there's a proper investigation here. Manchester United have extended Amad Diallo's contract through 2030, Jules. This was a no-brainer.
Yeah,
can we praise Jim?
Yeah. Well done, Jim, Wilcox, Berada, whoever. Amorim took the decision. Amorim's mum. It was a no-brainer. He's earned it. He's deserved it. He got it. Well done to him. He's really done well since Amorim arrived, especially even slightly before that. He's part of the future of that football club, whether he's in the inside 10 position, wider, wherever you want to play him. There's clearly something special there. It took him a long time, I think, to get to this level of maturity, consistency, etc. But it's good to see that young players can get there. So well done, Ahmad, and well done, United, for recognizing all of that. Fabrizio Romano, our friend, reports that Renato Vega is expected to leave Chelsea in January, Gabi, and the club value him at 30 million euros. Gab, is that a bit odd to you?
It's very odd to me.
What's odd? The fact that he wants to go, that they let him go, or the value?
There's so
all
many,
three.
There's so many levels of odd in this one. Odd number one is that they only paid 14 million for him in the summer.
Yeah.
Sorry, odd number one is a 30 million euro valuation. That is for me odd number one. Odd number two is that they've been linked to Borussia Dortmund. I know you've got defenders out, but equally presumably they'll come back at some way. You've got a lot of defenders, and why would you pay 30 million for Renato Vega? Seems odd to me when there's only 14 million in the summer. Odd from Chelsea's perspective too, because he signed a 7-year deal. Again, doing some basic back of the envelope math here. You can say, oh, look, we're making a big profit on him. Yeah, but you signed such a long contract, and if he leaves after 6 months, in terms of amortization, and book value, you're going to make like 18 million when you could make a lot more if you simply hang on to him a little bit longer. Odd to me as well, because a lot of Chelsea fans seem to think that Renato Vega has been really good.
You don't agree?
Sorry?
You don't agree?
I'm not. I don't think he's a particularly good player.
But the versatility is interesting, no? Because he can play in different positions.
That's odd number 5 or 6. Oh, yeah, of course. But apparently he's leaving because he wants to play center back. So that's it. Go to the team that has Schlotterbeck and Sule and Valdemar Anton and whatever. That's another issue. So he doesn't see himself as versatile. He sees himself as a center back, even though so far he's really only played left back and defensive midfield.
Yeah.
Odd number 20. I don't know how many odds have come to.
Yeah, there's a lot of odds.
Okay, so you've got Moises Caicedo, who can play defensive midfield. You've got Romeo Lavia, who plays defensive midfield.
Who's always injured,
when fit, yeah. And you got Enzo. And then what? You got Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting somebody? Carney and Casadei are attacking midfielders, and you're supposedly trying to move them out anyway. Yeah. Is there another defensive midfielder I'm forgetting?
I don't think so.
Is Leslie coming back to play defensive midfield?
I don't think so either.
Are they going to bring the kid from Strasbourg who they paid all that money, the Brazilian guy?
Andre Santos? I guess they could, but he's doing well in France.
I mean, I don't quite follow this. And also, isn't he also your backup left back?
He is,
I know Malo Gustos had to play left back sometimes, but equally, is this really, you don't really want Malo Gusto playing left back regularly, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so
it's one to keep an eye on. Yeah,
it seems like there's something here that we're missing. Khalidou Sidibe started in midfield for Guingamp in their 4-1 win over Annecy Friday. But Jules, that's not why we're talking the French second division, is it?
No, that's not, Gab. Although I love Ligue 2 to be in the quick hit.
Yes, Ligue des Champions.
Khalidou Sidibe, Thursday night, the Guingamp. So Guingamp had to go from west of France all the way to east, obviously, to go from Guingamp to Annecy. And then they arrived in Annecy. They got off the bus in front of their hotel. And Sidibe and 2 of his teammates witnessed a thief just snapping the phone. Snatching, the phone of a woman's hand.
In front of their hotel.
Like not far from the hotel, yeah. And the woman screaming. And Sidibe sees the thief grabbing the phone and running off. So start chasing him with the other 2 Guingamp players. And if you don't know Sidibe, he's this tall, super strong, super fast guy. So obviously, the thief just picked the wrong place to steal the phone because in no time, Sidibe had caught him, grabbed the phone, put it on the floor, wait for the police to arrive. The police arrived, obviously arrested the thief, and they then gave the phone back to the woman who was very happy. And the next day, they have a wonderful performance and win 4-1. So well done, Sidibe and the Guingamp player who chased the thief.
It's fantastic.
It's a lovely story. Another championship story, but not in France, in England this time. Not so good story though, because the championship top scorer, Borja Sainz, Gabi, has been banned for 6 games for spitting at Sunderland's defender Chris Metham. Are you okay with that? I mean, not the spitting, but with the suspension?
People are really upset by...
It's not long enough, they think, or it's too long?
I don't know. I always wonder with these suspensions, what are you trying to do? Like discourage spitting?
Right, educate?
Educate? Yeah. This isn't like racism where say, oh, well, where you want to send a message, set an example and educate, right? Borja Sainz presumably knows that spitting at somebody is not acceptable unless you're Evangelos Marinakis and you need to expectorate. And then in which case you're free to go and spit in the floor indoors in your own house because that's normal for you, as your lawyer said in his defense. So yeah, I don't know, 6 games, 3 games, 4 games. Like he got the message. It's not like you're going to do it again, right?
No, it's similar to the Bentancur. This is, the
I
suspension.
thought the Bentancur was excessive, and in this one, if he's apologized, and I think he said like, I don't know what came over me. Okay, fine, move on. I'm assuming it's going to affect Norwich's promotion hopes. They're not in the playoff spots. So there.
Yeah.
Giờ tiếp tục với một tím.
Vì cả mỏ xía hít như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nối lại chuyện xưa.
Tốt nha. Rất mẹ. Bé lão. Có tô xuống thì ăn. Ngon. Chả béo nữa, nhưng cái ấy này chả béo. Cái gì ăn suốt. Nhưng mà có chỉ ở đây thôi.
Mọi người mình đang kết màu tím nha. Các bạn lên vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Màu xanh đây nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím.
Vì cả mỏ xía hít như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nối lại chuyện xưa.
Tốt nha. Rất mẹ. Bé lão. Có tô xuống thì ăn. Ngon. Chả béo nữa, nhưng cái ấy này chả béo. Cái gì ăn suốt. Nhưng mà có chỉ ở đây thôi.
Mọi người mình đang kết màu tím nha. Các bạn lên vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Màu xanh đây nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím.
Vì cả mỏ.
Không sợ nha, không sợ. bạn ơi, đây là vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi, video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Thành công có nhảy cái điện thoại nào của em không đấy?
Rồi. Rồi.
Ở đâu nhé? Tự nhiên
Một số bạn.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay của mình sẽ là video gì đây? Nhiều quá, không biết làm video gì đây. Rất nhiều những sản phẩm mình đã
Màu xanh này. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím. Chết anh.
Vì cả mỏ xìa nít như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nói lại chuyện xưa.
Đó nha. Đó, mẹ. Bé lão. Cho cô xuống để ăn. Ngon. Chả vì đâu nữa, nhưng ấy nè rồi không? Cái gì ăn suốt. Nhưng mà có chị ở đây thôi.
Mọi người mình đang kết màu tím nha. Các bạn ơi, vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Màu xanh này nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím.
mình quay sỏi nha, mình quay sỏi nha. ơi, đây là vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi, video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Thành Công có nhảy cái điện thoại nào của em không đấy?
Rồi. Rồi.
Ở đâu nhé? Tự nhiên
Số 3.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay của mình sẽ là video gì đây? Nhiều quá, không biết làm video gì. Đây, rất nhiều những sản phẩm mình đã
mình quay sỏi nha, mình quay sỏi nha. Các bạn ơi, đây là vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi, video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Màu xanh đây nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím. Cũng chết anh.
Thì cả mỏ xìa nít như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nói lại chuyện xưa.
Đó nha. Đó, mẹ. Bé lão. Có cô xuống thì ăn. Ngon. Chả vì đâu nhưng ấy nè rồi không. Cái gì ăn suốt nhưng mà có chị ở đây thôi.
Mọi người mình đang kết màu tím nha. bạn ơi, vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Màu xanh này nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím.
Vì cả mỏ xìa nít như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nói lại chuyện xưa.
Tốt nha. Tắt mẹ. Bé lão. Cho cô xuống để ăn.
Đúng con sỏi nha, đúng con sỏi nha. Các bạn ơi, đây là vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Thành Công có nhảy cái điện thoại nào của em không đấy?
Rồi. Rồi.
Ở đâu nhé? Tự nhiên
Một số bạn.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay của mình sẽ là video gì đây? Nhiều quá, không biết làm video gì. Đây, rất nhiều những sản phẩm mình đã.
Màu xanh này nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím.
Vì cả mỏ xìa nít như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nối lại tình xưa.
Tốt nha. Đó, mẹ. Bé lão. Cho cô xuống điện ăn. Ngon. Chả vì nhau như ấy nè rồi đó. Cái gì ăn suốt. Nhưng mà có chị ở đây thôi.
Mọi người mình đang kết màu tím nha. Các bạn ơi, vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Màu xanh này nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím.
Vì cả mỏ xìa hết như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nối lại tình xưa.
Tốt nha. Đó, mẹ. Bé lão. Cho cô xuống điện ăn. Ngon. Chả vì nhau như ấy nè rồi đó. Cái gì ăn suốt. Nhưng mà có chị ở đây thôi.
Mọi người mình đang kết màu tím nha. Các bạn ơi, vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Màu xanh này nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím.
Vì cả mỏ xìa hết như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nối lại tình xưa.
Tốt nha. Đó, mẹ. Bé lão. Cho cô xuống điện ăn. Ngon. Chả vì nhau như ấy nè rồi đó. Cái gì ăn suốt. Nhưng mà có chị ở đây thôi.
Mọi người mình đang kết màu tím nha.